What's going on, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez, and welcome to my series premiere spoiler review for Van Helsing. Now, it should take me about 4 minutes to recap the episode, then give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks so much for joining me. Now, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, make sure to check out all the other content that I do. Also, over the next 3 months, I will be reviewing over 43 TV shows. Now, the reason it may take me 4 minutes to recap the episode is because it was a 2-hour premiere. I dread 2-hour premieres. Even if the show's amazing, even if it's The Walking Dead, anything like that, 2-hour premieres, my recap's going to be longer than my pros and cons. So if you don't mind, to save us both time, I'm going to do the recap as fast as I can. Also, if you love sci-fi shows just like me, I also review Z Nation and Aftermath. So we begin off the series premiere of Van Helsing with vampires inside this hospital. Now, Vanessa wakes up and she ends up fighting a few of them. Then we go 36 hours earlier. So this guy is feeding this doctor, and this doctor has turned into a vampire, and it's pretty gross because he's feeding his blood to her, so it's really gross. Civilians arrive so that he ends up saving them. One of his friends, whose name is Ed, who used to be part of the military. So the people end up seeing the doc and they freak out and everything because, it's been many months since Ed's been there, and then he brought a bunch of civilians along with him. So they don't trust Axel, or Axel is the main guy with the gun, the main male protagonist of the series, I guess I should say. So there's a swarm attack that goes on, a few people die, and Vanessa ends up fainting. She awakes, and Ed offers to help her escape. Now, she takes a shower, and she finds out a bunch of the info of what the state of the world is, and it's Ed versus Axel. They end up getting into a fight, and Ed goes to the rooftop where he ends up fighting Vanessa. Well, Vanessa is skillfully trained somehow. He ends up getting killed, and then the guy climbs up this vent at the end where he is a vampire turned human, because in the beginning of the episode, Vanessa was laying down on the table, and the vampire was munching on, as any man would, and just munch. And, his blood, he started coughing up, STDs, whatever, and he ends up a vampire turning back to a human. So to stop the vampire apocalypse, all you have to do is take a little bite out of Vanessa, just a little scrunch out of there, and you'll be good. You'll be good. It's STD free. So humans, right? This world is a perfect way to show. It's this is what happens if Clinton becomes president. Also, this is what happens if Trump becomes president. So either way, you're fucked. Anyway, so that happens. So the vamp turns human, and 2016. I wrote that because 2016. So they're donating blood in the beginning. This is the second episode where they're donating blood. This first episode is called Help Me. The second one's called Seen You. And so Vanessa's donating blood. This is back in 2016. So it's a flashback with her daughter. And it's a mom and daughter. It's her B-day, the daughter's B-day, birthday. And we see a junkie vamp, and he's drinking the blood from the hospital. And he becomes a human because he drank Vanessa's blood. So Dylan's dad is with a hooker. I just kind of thought I would write that because her daughter's name is Dylan, and the dad's being a douche, and he'd rather spend a night with a hooker than his own daughter. What a shame. You are not a man. So Vanessa ends up getting attacked by this vampire, and she ends up dying. This is my favorite moment out of the premiere because it hits you emotionally, and you're like, I don't know this girl. You don't know these characters, but it hits you so hard. Even how stupid it is. Where are you? Where are you, Dylan? She's has the candles and the cupcake or whatever, or the cake, the messed up cake. She's like, baby, where are you? I don't know. Why don't you check the room? Why don't you say, hey, get your ass out here, or else I'm not gonna. You know what? You don't want this cake? Whatever. Just throw it in the trash. You know what I mean? What is she? 5 years old? Where are you? I wonder where you are. No, just be like, hey, you're gonna come out or not, or have this cake, all right? Whatever. People these days, man. So anyway, the doctor, Sarah, is examining her body, and she's not dead. She still has, she looks dead, but she's not dead. And the military arrives, another volcano goes down, and the clouds are going crazy, man. And the dark skies and all. So after that, the apocalypse is beginning We jump 3 years later. The three go outside. The doc gets bit. 3 soldiers go outside. The doctor gets bit, and she turns. And that's basically kind of like episode 2 is supposed to be episode 1, and episode 1 is supposed to be episode. So they kind of switched it around. So the doctor, the guy's feeding the doctor, who's a vampire now. It shows you how she got bit in episode 2 and where they are. That they are in a hospital. Now on to the pros and cons. Now, I have never been a big fan of vampires, but I am a fan of this story for Van Helsing. I also don't know why, but I really enjoyed the hospital setting for these episodes. Now, I have never seen the original Van Helsing movie. I know, stone me. Again, that's because I'm not a big fan of vampires, neither with Underworld and all that, or werewolves, whatever they have. The only vampire movie I'm really a fan of is The Lost Boys. But I really find it interesting how if they bite Vanessa, the vampires become human again. Like I mentioned earlier, the strongest scene out of the whole premiere was when Vanessa is killed on her daughter's birthday. Even though the scene was pretty long and dragged out, I still cried like a baby. The action in here is also not that bad. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of 2-hour premieres and everything, but it did save us a trip from going week to week when they could explain it all within 2 episodes, and the doctor and the hospital, and seeing the apocalypse go down and seeing it through their eyes, and then she's a vampire, and then the military guy and the main character and all that. I like that. I like how we see kind of almost their point of views in a way. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that this show is well paced, because there were times in here where I was so freaking bored. Yes, this show got very boring many times. Usually when there wasn't action going on, or when the main character is just smoking a cigarette for a minute and a half, just like... One minute later... Oh, what's that? Like, there are many scenes that are just really kind of just are slow. I mean, super ass slow. And where there's no talking whatsoever. Like, it's just a super slow moment. As well, that main character, the vampire with the goatee and with his little hooker and all that, like, ah, yes, I'm the main villain, obviously. I have a goatee and I'm a vampire. Yeah, yes, like... I don't dig that. That's the stuff I don't like about vampire stuff. You have to have a main villain and she's gonna destroy our world. The Ancient One is back. Whatever he says, that's some stuff that just cuts me off right there. I also want to point out that the main male protagonist, Axel, whatever his name is, the guy with the gun all the time, I don't really like him as a character. He's not that smart. For a military guy, he really isn't that smart. Like, did you see him the way he was when he was in the military and everything? Like, he's just eye candy for the girls, basically. He's really not that smart. He ain't. And I know it's a sci-fi show. The acting doesn't need to be amazing, but still, I just don't like him as our main male protagonist. Now, the girl who played Vanessa, she wasn't good or great, she was just okay. Now, this was just an okay premiere. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad where I'm not going to watch the next episode. I am very interested in where the story is going to take us next. So other than that, the action was okay. The acting was okay. Not the greatest. I don't like Axel, the main male protagonist, but I do like Vanessa. I want to see more of her. I can't wait for her to strap on all her badass clothes and go out and kill some vampires. That'll be really interesting. But the number one thing that really drew me in and sucked me in was the story and the apocalyptic and the way the world looks now. That's what drags me in the most, is just the story in general. I'm going to give the series premiere for Van Helsing a C+. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack that like button. You can comment down below to me what you guys thought about the episode. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? You can share this review with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more awesome Van Helsing reviews weekly. Make sure to join the Big D Nation. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button. The road to 500 has begun. Thanks so much. Till next time, bye-bye.